Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast! With me, Matt. We have a 2v2 for you all here on the Forgotten Battle, another version of the map. There's so many versions of the Forgotten Battle. Anyway, it's on the Western Front today. Let's go for the players. We have in the United States today. We have Clone going straight at the gate with Mechanized Company for the United States. And Smokey as Ranger Company. So Ranger and Mechanized, definitely some pretty interesting mixes. And very good combinations too. America can do a lot of stuff with both those commanders. There's in the Axis today. We have Silver Wolf as the Mthis, without a commander choice yet. We have Arranged Karma as Infanteriedivision for the Wehrmacht. We'll have to see how this turns out for them. Or we have some Volksgrenadiers coming out followed by some Grenadiers, so Arranged Karma is going for the basic 1-1-1 opening that the Wehrmacht can do. And it looks like we have Silver Wolf going for SS Panzer. Okay, so Infantry and Panzer, that's also a good mix. They can kind of complement one another and make up for each other's faults, basically. Need to see how they do once they start engaging, though. Because the Americans are pushing far for the southern field here in the forest. Pretty far pushed down. Suppose it makes sense. Also American riflemen coming up behind it. Lots of American riflemen, followed by some mechanized troopers. The unique cavalry trooper available to US mechanized. Meanwhile, the pioneers are about to reach the northern field here. Echelon are trying to get up here to watch some heavy cover, so they can try and overwatch the position. Yeah, they're trying to get behind there. Just as the Waffen-SS, no, that's not Waffen-SS, the Wehrmacht is trying to set up some sandbags. The Echelon failed to stop the sandbags though, so the Americans are going to have to work hard to get rid of them. Now, the Storm Pioneers down here are definitely going to be able to take out those 3 Echelon, unless they're lucky with the forest cover here. Meanwhile, American riflemen are keeping an eye on the point though. I don't think the Waffen-SS is going to be able to take the fuel immediately. But they might be able to, I suppose, slowly take out the Americans at long range. You know, the Americans do have very slow fire rate at the moment because they are not very veteran. That's also an important thing to remember. And well, we have the Pioneers fighting up here aggressively. Yes, they should be. Riflemen are trying to push up quickly, and that's a Pioneer overrun. You know, the Volksgrenadiers are trying to get up here, trying to throw a Brandflasche. American M1 Grants are still working out. Oh, good Molotov though. Well, Brandflasche. On those riflemen, forcing them back. And the Echelon merge though. Oh, he's not going to merge them. I would say that would probably be a good idea to do. My own opinion. Riflemen are fighting down here still. Looks like we have some more sandbags going in the forest. Mechanized cavalry troopers are near the mechanized troopers. Storm Grenadiers are taking a grenade, although they didn't do much. Which might make them allow them to win here. No! Looks like the semi-automatic weaponry of the cavalry troopers are winning out here in the short engagement, but there's a grenade going out. Looks like the Americans lost the nerve, leaving 1 SS Grenadier alive, so he has to pull back, I think. Germans in descent also being forced out of the town. The German Wehrmacht is trying to overrun the Americans holding the northern fuel here. On a Brandflasche. And the Americans are then going to lose that fuel. You have a 30 caliber coming up here for the United States Mechanized. I'll definitely be able to keep an eye on the point down here. You have an MG34 coming out for the Waffen-SS as well. That should be interesting. Meanwhile, the Germans have secured the northern fuel again here. Oh wait, they are retreating? That might have been a misclick. That was most certainly a misclick. Oh, excuse me. I just ate dinner a little bit ago, so that's probably why I'm still a little bit hiccuping. Decided I wanted to try and get some of this through, although it's so warm here, it's so hard to record in this heat. I might need to start putting my fan on, but I'm not sure if that'll start to be picked up by the mic or something. I'd rather it not. I do have some plans to play some other games, like Hell Pie when it comes out. Hopefully it'll be allowed on YouTube, of course. Because it seems to be a pretty R-rated game. With a lot of nasty stuff in it. At least according to the trailer. MG34 is getting some good shots in here down towards the riflemen. Baseline also pushing up. I'm also glad to have started my internship again. So at least something is going forward in my life now. If slowly. But I'm not just stuck at home anymore every day. It also means I cannot record as much as I used to. Because I have to focus my time. So yeah, I might focus more on Hell Pie when it comes out compared to casts. Not that I have any casts left at the moment. I think I have about 3 when I'm recording this. You'll see them all still every day until I run out. Then I'll just switch up to other stuff. Not much of an issue, I hope. Ooh, M1 Grant's hand out to the squad taken down there by the MG34. Cavalry troopers coming up here with a Springfield sniper rifle. Interesting. Not sure that's a good choice here, but I suppose we'll find out. Oh, actually getting killed there immediately. Here comes the Storm Grenadiers with MP40s. The MG34 is also getting kills in pretty quick. There's just too much firepower going in that building. Force the Americans back. Oh, MG there. And the Americans are also going to take the northern field again. Not looking good here for the German Wehrmacht. Sturmgewehrs being handed out to the Volksgrenadiers now in an Opel Blitz truck. Just they can move around rapidly. The Sturmgewehrs for the Volksgrenadiers is the unique upgrade if you're playing as Infanterie, by the way. Pretty damn good upgrade for them. Really boost their firepower medium range. Like, I like to see what they were doing here, but I think the Americans might have the upper hand. Because they're heavy cover. And that BAR. The BAR is actually quite brutal to try and push up on. As you would expect. And that's just a good position to hold. Look at all the heavy cover here. One flash though. Oh, very good throw. Almost winning out, but I think these Volksgrenadiers have to pull back. Meanwhile, the SSR holding parts of the town though. With a lot of small caliber automatic weaponry. Lots of MP40s and similar. And lots more mechanized troopers in the field. Wonder what else they'll get. The Americans holding both fuels. That's going to be a problem here for the Germans. We do have an armored half-track coming in here for the Waffen-SS Panzer Division. We're just going to allow them to have a mobile MT-42 and be able to move some troops around it faster. It's not as armor as you'd think though, so you need to be cautious with it. Like a 50 caliber machine gun will chew straight through it. Well, I don't think they have any 50 caliber machine guns on the field at the moment. Generally, a light AT is something the Americans kind of suck at. Ooh, they have a Flammenwerfer. Okay, they're gonna do a clown car drive-by, I think. I want to try to burn out the Americans from the town here with a drive-by. That's at least what I'm wagering. I'm not sure which commander gets the double flamethrowers, if any of them even do. But I think this 30 caliber could be in trouble as long as they can keep distracted. Here it comes. Oh, already getting some good damage in there. And that's a dead machine gun. Rifle going out though doesn't do too much damage. So Germans have kind of pushed the Americans off from this little area for a while.
A capture point is under attack.
We'll need to see how it goes for them later on. MD-42 opening fire in the rifleman.
Lieutenant has been assigned to
We also the Sturmgrenadiers with the MP40s though. Putting a lot more firepower down the range. The Ranger team on the field now. On the basic elite units available to US Ranger. Pretty nice. I rarely see people use them though. People tend to go for the other units. Especially the, what's it called? The Ranger Recon. The two pushed up here. Pushed back the Americans. They were trying to build up a fortified position evidently. Ooh, double 222. That's a nice mix. Don't underestimate double 222. Because that's a lot of autocannon fire. Germans are pushing up here with MP40s. Ooh, are they gonna win out? Looks like they do win out. I guess you should not underestimate MP40s at close range.
task complete.
The American Rangers are definitely having some issues here. Mechanized troopers are getting more units, including an AT gun and a half-track. With some common engineers, that is a mobile 50 caliber, so that is actually surprisingly useful. Never underestimate the 50 caliber machine gun. Ooh, and those Sturmgrenadiers are gonna die. Yeah, there they go. The Germans are pushing up along the rest of the front. Half-track is still running around doing some drive-bys with its flamethrower. A little bit silly you can fire a flamethrower out of a half-track like that, but I'm not the one to judge, I guess.
Boys, you ready to roll out?
The Jews running around. Stuart can actually be killed by 222s. If they can get him its rear, by the way. And I suppose in Company Fears 3 on the flank. But there'll actually be side armor. Oh, flamethrower cleared out the half-track. Oh, and they cleared out the... oh my god, that's horrible. Ooh, 222, Stuart flanking the 222. Misses. Ooh, good frontal penetration by the 222 there. Stuart has to be cautious in the air. such vehicles. Here comes the Americans for the half-track. Looks like they scavenged the American half-track. That was pretty smart, actually. Denying it to the Americans and actually getting resources out of it. Half-track's doing a good job with its MG42, and now the Storm Pioneer's also firing in. These Americans are definitely having big issues. Oh, I know, so that's the RES one. 80 guns taking shot though. Destroying the half-track there. But the Americans took some heavy losses in the attempt. Oh, Grenadiers on the run. Have to avoid being close to those Rangers. The two up here being repaired. Looks like the other two went down. So it was around here. Looks like the Stuart did win out in the end. The two up here will be able to stop those Rangers. Looks like they're doing some marching fire. They walk slowly forwards now as they do marching fire. But they realize the 222 is nearby. Stuart is driving off to try and intercept. So the Ranger will make it. Barely. Stuart's just gonna try and keep it range here. Because if just the 222 penetrates twice, like one more shot penetrating, that'll be a dead Stuart. Now the chances are low, but if it does, it would be dead. We have a pack coming up here from the Waffen-SS to support the Wehrmacht. Americans still hold the south pretty formidably. Don't see a lot of tech up here going on yet for the Waffen-SS. They're taking up for light vehicles. Infanterie has gotten a Panzer IV F1. That'll certainly help. Both Grenadiers remain around with a Sturmgewehr.
Gather round. I smell orders.
Ready for action.
Here comes the 222. Anti-tank team in the way though. And that's a 222. Good close range bazooka shot. Need to get that Stuart repaired though. Oh, grenade air from the Fox Grenadiers. And now the Sturmgewehrs open up. Panzer F1 coming up the main road. Riflemen go down.
Infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Fox Grenadiers with Sturmgewehrs also coming up the main streets. More Americans nearby to support as well, some Rangers. Ooh, bazooka did not hit. Rangers need to be very careful here. Can the bazooka even hit the tank?
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Grenades are being exchanged. Bazooka's hitting towards the infantry, not the tank. That's a problem. Lateral charge going over the wall here. Maybe the mechanized troops are fighting against the Waffen-SS down here. F1 noticed and managed to back off. And now that's actually going to be a problem for the Americans because other machine guns can rip into them. But looks like the flamethrowers on the southern flank are pushing the mechanized troopers back. But I have to arriving for Waffen-SS. They actually have no infantry apart from the Storm Pioneers. But the Grenadiers are pushing towards the church now in American hands. Pushing very aggressively. Anti-tank rifle grenades towards the Stuart. Getting in on the side. That's going to allow the F1 to start pushing up. Grenade going in the way. Ooh, but the Americans are suffering very heavy losses here. Realism is trying to get inside the church with the bazooka. Ooh, good shot there on the Panzer IV. Jumping out the other side of the church. This still trying to be loaded. Grenade going out on the Grenadier. They pop inside the church again, and they get the Panzer IV. But here comes a Flammenwerfer. They're gonna try and burn the church down, I think. Oh, they're getting demo charge. They're definitely gonna destroy it. Trying to set up a demo charge here. Grenade going out, but it might be too late. Oh, they died, but the church actually survives with a floating tower, which always looks awkward.
Waiting for orders.
Well, like, fix this.
Crew, stand ready.
It's the floating tower church. It looks so awkward. And while we have another half-track here with the Storm Pioneers working on. Bazooka misses. Panzerjäger's waiting back here. Pack an MG42 pulling back here from the Waffen-SS. American troops are trying to flank the half-track. Forcing it on the retreat. Germans have to gain some tech up going though. Another Panzer IV F1 coming onto the field. Panzerjäger's in trouble. They've been spotted. A2 Sherman is going to be arriving for the mechanized. No armor coming out for Rangers. The Rangers have suffered a lot of losses and are just getting some tech up going on, as well as a machine gun. You could also call in the Brazilians, but I don't think they'll do that. I'd like to see what happens. But A2 Sherman might be a problem. Oh, grenade in the way of the Germans. Surprising them. And more folks can just push up with the Sturmgewehr. Ready to put the hurt on the Amerikaner. Americans have managed to push up towards Northern Field this time again. I think the Germans lose it. But Germans keep fighting around this church area. They really want to push the Americans out by here. Enter the building here with their Sturmgewehr. Get some good shots in. There we go. Very good shots. And once they leave their cover, they got mowed down in seconds. Cover is very important in Spearhead, and that should be a good showcase of it. Especially against automatic weaponry. Oh yeah, you can see that those players also got mowed down. Good job with the Sturmgewehrs there. Ah, here's the thing. They cannot shoot out the church in this angle anymore. Because of how destroyed the church is. It's just a very awkward destroyed building. Maybe we should just let it get destroyed there. A2 Sherman pushing up. A2 pushing up pretty aggressively. Do these folks have any Panzerfaust? They do not. They actually are lacking any AT equipment to deal with it. And short mode down there by the A2. F1 is not going to be able to fight this A2, if it, especially not if it shows its ass. Of course, the Sherman could also miss. There's a pack nearby and a Panzerjäger. They're waiting for it to get closer, make a smart thing, and increase their accuracy and chance to hit if it does get closer. Ooh, commander injured. Heat shield does penetrate though. Ooh, this pack misses thanks to the smoke. Germans pushing up here, but there is one man on a machine gun who manages to hold back the Germans.
Combat unit ready for action.
Purple heart right there, I guess. But he didn't actually get that many kills. He was just there and that forced the Germans to pull back for a while. At least he'll have stories to tell, but he's still just gonna stay there as a lone man, apparently. Oh, F1 goes down to the tank hunters. Grenade going out, concussion grenades. Stunning. Now the American infantry is gonna take care of him. We have another 30 caliber here. Looks like it's gonna be the air-cooled one using the MG34 model, because apparently you cannot port models into Common Heroes 2 for modding. As unfortunate as that is. There's some Panzer Grenadiers for the first SS down here. Armed with scoped and normal Sturmgewehr, so that's a lot of Sturmgewehr. They're about to be flanked here by the mechanized troops with a flamethrower. Oh, and that's a dead Panzer Grenadier. They did not expect that. There was a Halfman arriving here for the Wehrmacht to coordinate the front line. Arriving himself with a Sturmgewehr, by the way. See, we have more Panzer Grenadiers coming to replace the lost ones. Germans are definitely suffering at the moment now. But fighting around that church has been kind of neat to watch. Although it is awkward with that church tower still floating in the air. Like a ghost story. Buildings had ghosts. Oh, claim the cover, that might be a bad idea. Because now they're now able to be shut up by the Americans. More Germans showing up here now with the Sturmgewehrs. That's a Bet-25 Volksgrenadier. Gonna be far more accurate with the Sturmgewehrs. And also with the Halfman nearby, I think he buffs them quite a lot. Oh, just less chance to be hit. And also more experience gain. The more experience gain is pretty nice, actually. If you're not already a Bet-25. Artillery being called in by the Halfman. Like it's gonna be 10.5 centimeters. That might be enough to actually force the Americans off there. Also gonna inside the buildings here, just a lot of firepower coming in. That's a the recon team there. A2 Sherman pushing up, high explosive shell loaded. Overshot, hit straight through the building. Church is somehow surviving everything still.
Incoming!
Don't ask me how. The pack is trying to get the shot out. Fails. That's another Sherman arriving. The pack has to pull back. And the Rangers is going to try and take advantage of that. The Germans need to get some kind of forward reinforced base in here. They already do, actually. Never mind. There's one right up there. A double Sherman now in the center here. That's a lot of firepower in a small package. We also have a third Sherman arriving here now.
Sherman ready.
That means that the Rangers will have 2 Shermans and the mechanized 1.
Taking fire!
So it's not an A3, it's just an A2. Normally I think you should always just go for the A3 if you're playing as mechanized, but I suppose the A2 just arrive earlier and cheaper. I don't think the cost difference is that big. Ooh, Panzer Strike missed. How big is the cost difference actually? Let's see, we have the A2 here. And the A3. That's like 40 manpower difference.
Down the hatches!
There's like really no reason why you would ever go for the M4 for the A2 if you can get the A3 as mechanized. If there's only a 40 manpower difference. Literally no reason never to. Unless it requires less command points, that could be a thing. Like if the A2 arrives with earlier command points, that could be why you would get it. But I don't know. I'm not really an expert in the command point stuff for unlockers for certain things. We have an A2 pushing north for the United States, but they lack infantry to secure the north. Germans have managed to flank here with some Panzer Grenadiers. Panzerfaust on the Sherman, almost killing it. Ooh, they're trying to cut off. They could be trying to cut off the Americans, but I'm not sure any of the German commanders here have closed the pocket. If they did, though, cutting off the Americans could be very dangerous. Ranger recon nearby. We also have the Heartland trying to get into a cover position back here. Has to be very cautious. All the smoke, though, is a little bit too much for him. More Volksgrenadiers coming up with their Sturmgewehr. He also has some Panzergrenadiers here. Firing ahead with their Sturmgewehrs. There's lots of Sturmgewehrs today. People always like those Sturmgewehrs, don't they? You get a Sturmgewehr, you get a Sturmgewehr, everybody gets Sturmgewehrs! Why wouldn't everyone really want a Sturmgewehr? Unfortunately for the Grenadiers, they don't have a Sturmgewehr. Not that a Sturmgewehr would help against the A2 Sherman up here, which they're trying to crawl towards while under machine gun fire.
Enemy infantry!
Yeah, it's probably just gonna get pinned shortly and then they'll have to retreat. Yeah, they've been pinned. Now they just have to get out of there. Once you're pinned, you basically cannot do anything. So the best option is either to retreat or have another unit help and kill whatever's pinning them. Because if you just remain under fire while pinned, you'll just stay pinned. Like an endless, vicious cycle. More Panzergrenadiers coming out here for the Waffen-SS. Rangers still holding on. Mortar on the field here for the mechanized. It's probably been there for a while. Just haven't seen it being used. But I definitely feel the Germans are on the back foot at the moment. A2 Sherman pushing upwards on the northern flank here. Coming towards this pack, which doesn't know the Sherman is coming, I think. They might hear it.
Combat unit ready.
Yeah, it's already been spotted now too. So now the pack could get a shot off if it's lucky. Doesn't penetrate. Now that is a huge deal. There's a second pack though. One penetration. Second hit from the other pack misses. German is pulling back, but there's a lot of people with Panzerfaust running after it. Which you honestly should not do unless you know it's slowed down, because you'll never catch it. The Sherman just reverses that fast. Sherman is a very mobile vehicle, by the way. Very mobile tank. This town is starting to get on fire as the Americans keep firing up here from the church. German, they can actually go down up here. What actually hit it? Was it the Panzerfaust? Did they actually manage to corner it? Might have been. I missed that. My bad. No, they would actually reach it with the Panzerfausts. Impressive from the Germans. The Germans still seem to just have trouble because they really cannot just threaten the other flank at the moment. We do see a command Panzer 4J in the field for the infantry. And final take-up going out here for the infantry as well. Panzer Division not getting anything else at the moment. Oh, Flammenwerfer still. But this is the mechanized trooper with a flamethrower. They're flamethrower on flamethrower fight. Looks like the Americans went out. Gonna scrap that flamethrower again and they'll have to retreat, I think. Fighting continues near the church. Looks like a Sherman lost his mobility. It's gonna be immobilized shortly. There it goes. And here's the command Panzer 4J, which might be able to be a good boon to have against those Germans. But I don't think the Panzer 4 is as armored as they realize. Yeah, it has 140 more armor rating, 40 more armor rating than the Sherman, so at least the A2, so it should do okay. And here comes a shot. Doesn't penetrate. Ooh, high explosive shell there. No real luck from the Germans hitting and penetrating that Sherman. There it goes. Took a little bit. Well, more Shermans are pushing up here. Supported by the American infantry. Building on fire here. Germans are slowly losing ground. The Germans have been able to secure the northern fuel again by looks of it. They are keeping inside the fuel game. Which should help them get some more panzers. Which will hopefully... or just more tech up, I guess. Lots of tech up going on. Well, not even a take up, but veterancy upgrades, which is actually a very handy thing the German factions get access to in Spearhead. It's like the Kampfkraft Center from Company Heroes 1, where the Wehrmacht could upgrade their veterancy. Pretty useful if you get late into the game and can afford it, because it means the units just survive as veterans if you need replacements, which is surprisingly handy, by the way, and useful, as it can really allow you to turn the edge with new units compared to the Allies who don't get veterancy out the gate. Americans are getting a jumbo Sherman though, which is unique to Ranger. Basically a very up-armored Sherman. I think it has just as much armor, if not more armor, than the Panther frontally. Which is absolutely ridiculous. It's the heaviest American vehicle. Heavier than the Pershing, by the way. So the Jumbo is just the best American tank for breaking through the enemy line, to my understanding. As it should be. It's kind of what the Jumbos were designed for. Although I should know the Jumbos were mostly designed for specific purposes. They were not actually a mass-produced tank, I believe. Like specific models, specifically made for certain stuff, for the most part. That's at least to my understanding. With lots of field modification going on. Which I suppose is why it fits with Ranger. Because Ranger is like supposed to be elite and very few units for the United States that are very specialized. So the Jumbo kind of makes sense there, I suppose. So they're being called here by the Hauptmann. Versus will it be enough? Americans already realized that Sylvie is coming in. There's some mortar nearby. But this church with the floating tower is probably still gonna survive. Oh, mortar got hit! Alright. Church still does not take any damage from that. It does not like your artillery strikes. That immortal church will survive everything. Truly a ghost story of the Second World War. The church that refused to collapse. With the floating tower. It's just so awkward to see. Really stands out. It's just a battle over this immortal church at the moment. Because if who's on the field, that might actually be enough to destroy it. Let's see. Because that's a really big caliber rocket. 300 or 200 millimeter, I think. Church still stands. It's 28 centimeter. That's still pretty freaking huge. 80 gun cleared out. Jumbo in the field out. Also, the Germans have to be. Oh, high explosive from the Jumbo killed the whole squad. Ooh, and the Panzer 4J has to be very cautious fighting that. Oh, it's not even firing at the Jumbo. At least the Jumbo only has a 76mm gun. But that's still pretty high. Oh, Panzer strike penetrate. Oh, and Panzer 4J gets it. And that was actually the pack. Oh, it was just used. It was just very bad luck and very well timed with the Panzer strike. That was very tight. Ooh, destroying jumbos very quickly is tight. Oh my god. Transport trying to get some shots in here on the Americans still. Hartmann is trying to get some artillery going. He's been smoked, so he's a little bit safer. Because the Americans gonna throw a grenade to stop him though. Or fire a grenade with their M1 Garand. Too late though. Hartmann even survives. Oh, and the church still stands. Ghost Church still stands.
Just got wiped out.
Allied here from the United States, EC8. Probably the pinnacle of German design. Good balance of armor, fire rate, and speed and everything. Only able to... Actually, I think also armor gets it now, but it was mostly mechanized thing back in old Spearhead. But it's like the best German in my opinion, because it doesn't have as much armor as the Jumbo, but apart from that, it's better than the Jumbo in all other ways, I think. Allied opening fire. Shocking the German front line. Like the fire rate in the EC is pretty high. Like there was another shot already, it didn't penetrate though. It is firing at the longest range though, which is to the Panzer IV's advantage. As you can see, and the pack is also helping a lot. Oh, A2 down. Panzerjägers out here will get mowed down by machine guns though. Jagdpanzer coming onto the field, a unit available to Wehrmacht Infanterie. A Panzerjäger unit, pretty damn powerful. Or Jagdpanzer, I should say. Basically a vehicle designed to deal with tanks, as the name implies. Grenadiers are trying to see if they can run a machine gun here, but that might be hard. Most of the Panzer Force moving up there anyway. Ooh, 76 German might go for an attempt. Doesn't look like it. E8 is relocating though. Possibly armed with a 50 caliber on top. Panzer IV coming towards the machine gun. Having trouble traversing because of all the trees. But we have the 76 quickly rushing up there, mowing down the trees as it moves. Now, I know the American tanks are generally more accurate on the move than German ones, so... Ooh, good shit from the 76 German. And machine guns took out the Grenadiers. One more shot from 76 might penetrate and kill the Panzer IV. Misses. Smoke popped. Looks like the main gun loader is injured though. That's gonna really slow down the Panzer IV's reload rate. We do have the Jagdpanzer coming up, so it's just trying to hold on until then. Which might not matter. Oh, it might. Oh, smoke pop from this German. That's gonna allow the Panzer IV command tank to get back, I think. But it's actually gonna try and capture the point, which yes it can. German command tanks can capture points. 76 trying to flank the Jagdpanzer. Getting right on the flank, destroying the gun! Then the Panzer IV comes in to help. The Jagdpanzer has to pull back, and now here comes the EC8. That's gonna be the end of the Panzer IV, I think. Oh boy, it's chasing them. Jagdpanzer down. Trying to duke around the EC8, but EC8 gets it through. EC8 is so good. Like, hands down, it's the best German. Hands down. Just having that increased rate of firepower is such a big deal. At the very least, if you ask me. Veterans Free Command Panther on the fields. Or the Veterans thanks to the Kampfkraft Center, I believe. Yep, they got Veterans Free tanks. This Panther is definitely going to be a problem. The Panther can actually go toe-to-toe with the EC8s, I'm pretty sure. Because the Fuß opening fire again. Will the Ghost Church survive? Nope, I think this might be the end of the Ghost Church. Nope. Ghost Church still stands. Hansgrenadiers are still opening fire towards the riflemen here. Well, not riflemen, that's supposed to be our riflemen, they're just manning the machine gun. 76 pushing up here. Panzerjägers are waiting in the forest though. Oh, good shots! Good job from those Panzerjägers. But they are being fired on the retreat path. So they will make it though. Hoffman ready to push up again. He's veteran 24. Equipped with an MG34. Gonna help him to lay down some suppressive fire if need be. Command Panther pushing up. A little bit risky, I'd say, but they don't need to get some armor there in case the E8 pushes up like this. Good shot from the Panther. Oh, it looks like they are salvaging the wrecks. Good to see. Getting some resources back. And what is an ability the Germans can do. None of them fighting on the other fronts at the moment. All focus around here. All near the forest, near the haunted church. The ghostly church. The ghost church. Not sure what I'm gonna call it. I'll just call it Ghost Church. Oh, that was American machine gun team in mode down there by the Sturmgewehr. Not sure what they were doing. More artillery being called here by the Hauptmann. Another light infantry gunner howitzer assault. FHGR. Feldhaubitze Granate, I think, or something. But the Germans are certainly still trying. Artillery going in around the church again. The church is definitely gonna collapse soon. Which it took it definitely long enough to do. It still stands! Oh my god, this fucking church! Tank on the teams nearby. Oh! Took out the EC8 ammo cooked. Heat bazooka hits the front and doesn't do anything. Doesn't penetrate the front of the armor. Despite being a heat bazooka, which should be a lot more powerful. More Panzergrenadiers get into the front. We have another Jagdpanzer line for the Infanterie. Lots of Grenadiers pushing up now, Veteran C5 here as well. All the veterancy upgrades are definitely going to start helping the Germans. They can just keep the fight going, but the Americans are still just holding on so well. Americans pushing up for the fuel again. I think there's a booby trap this time. A demo charge, actually, right there. Are the Germans going to activate it, though, is the question. Looks like it's the Wehrmacht that has it. It looks like it's the SS's. Demo charge. I think... Yeah, we can see it. It's right there. Just hidden because the Americans have no minesweepers.
New unit ready and on the field.
Tank on the team coming up here with the bazookas. As well as the Sherman 76. Driving over the sandbags, evidently. Well, the Germans are doing another assault towards the church here. Sturmgewehr is ready to destroy it this time. This time it'll for sure do it. At least what the crew hopes. Because that church is surely haunted. Everything seems to be fine at the moment. Jagdpanzer and Infanterie pushing up here. Looks like the demo... No, it's a different thing that exploded somewhere. Not sure what. But Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers pushing up. Actually, it's just Volksgrenadiers. And the Jagdpanzer. You know where the Sherman is, though. Explosive load here by the Sherman. Overshot. Artillery might go in here towards the church again. Going straight into the church this time. You've gotta be kidding.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
You've gotta be kidding.
We're losing mobility.
That church just refuses to collapse. Calliope did not do too much. Command Panther pushing up. That's a dead Sherman.
Targets destroyed.
Rangers are down to basically no units. I think the Germans might win this by sheer persistence. And in fact, the Americans have just suffered so many losses, or at least one American player has. Like, Smokey has suffered heavy losses. The mechanized company has been doing pretty well, actually, all things considered. You can have a lot of units still. And a lot of big reserve. They're definitely geared to keep the fight going, but I think the Americans are just running out of juice somewhat. Panzergrenadiers are pushing upwards. They were cursed by the church. Looks like the mortar there gets taken out by the Panzergrenadier. Oh, Panzer should probably not push out that cover. And do a grenade assault in return of a pineapple. Pineapple does more damage to them, I think. They should probably have stayed behind the cover and just had a fire shootout. Easy hit pushing up here, that might be a little bit risky. Yeah, there you go. Panther gets the kill. That was also the last DC8 at the moment. Stu pushing up. Finally aiming to end this church, I think. If he could aim. Tank out misses with its missile. Not missile, rocket. Oh! Lucky the Grenadiers did not take damage there from the Stu. That's a very lucky roll. You need to be cautious with this Stu. Because it's gonna have a high risk of hitting its friendlies there. When assault going out. Oh, we actually unkilled. Are they gonna be able to finally take out this church? Stu is trying. It's certainly trying. Handgrenadiers will prevent this AT gun from getting any shots out, I think. Yeah, definitely. Hartmann pushing up with his MG34. Pulling more artillery in. They finally want to destroy the church. The church refuses to die! What the hell is going on with this church? Here comes the Sherman 76ers though. Stu gets a first opening fire. Stu gets taken out. Stu gets a first fire too far. Artillery going in on the church again. Will this church finally die? It refuses to die! Panzerfaust destroying one Sherman there. But I think this battle is practically over at this point. The Americans have just lost too much. And the command Panther is now wreaking havoc alongside the Wehrmacht Infanterie. We do have more EC8s and 76 Germans coming out. Was it going to be enough? They need to destroy the church. But how? Because the church cannot die. But at this point the Americans surrender. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this very interesting battle. And I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Bye bye!